Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's video is going to be discussing children returning back to school. We're talking K-12 because it is apparent that most of the higher education campuses have gone completely virtual. And if not completely, the majority. You have online options for certain classes. But for some reason, our legislators think that it is unsafe for adults to go back to their jobs. They need to work from home. That the workers out in the field can't have too many people in the place of business. So they have had to downsize and don't have as many people working, such as at the UPS warehouses. Not as many people are able to go to restaurants. A certain number of people can go in certain stores at a time. But for some reason, our legislators believe that it's okay to cram hundreds of children into a school building. Now, I am at a loss to figure out how exactly this is going to work for the little guys who can barely sit still and keep their hands out of their mouth and nose and remain 6 feet apart. But I digress. I won't continue to ask what I would, any logical thinking person would ask. How exactly are you going to pull this off when there's been no money poured into the schools to put up any plexiglass or any type of measures to make sure that the children are safe there? Matter of fact, during this whole 19 scare, the sea bug, of course, for you guys who don't know what that means, or the sea virus, they have been doing their utmost to make sure that the schools don't get any additional funding. So I'm not exactly sure how this is going to be carried out. I know from what I have seen myself personally, kind of asinine what they're attempting to do. But anyways, my reading today is going to be on that topic, and I am going to ask the cards to tell me about the children going back to school. And I asked the question that way because I want whatever Spirit can tell me about that to come through. I don't want to make the question too specific, because whatever needs to come through can come through on a generalized question like that. So tell me about the children going back to school. That is my question. So we're going to pose that to the cards and see what the cards have to say. So here we go, guys. Because even if you don't have children, you probably have some family member that has children, or you live near people with children. And this is a pretty scary time, not just for the parents, but also for the teachers, who are also parents, and the family members of those children. That we are in a pandemic, and you're not supposed to crowd. You're supposed to stay 6 feet apart. You're supposed to wear a mask, and make sure you're frequently washing your hands, and you know, all of the safety features that have been put in place for us. How exactly are you going to do that when you crowd children into a school building? How are they going to do recess? Are the children just not going to have recess anymore? How are you going to do sports? Are you going to find some kind of way to do contact sports without contact? Anyway, I could go on and on with questions that I have. But I digress again. So we're going to see what the cards say here. All right. So y'all buckle up. Let's see what the cards are going to tell us about the children going back to school. Tell us about the children going back to school as it pertains to the sea bug, the 19 scare. Tell us about the children going back to school. All right. I feel I need to keep shuffling. All right. What say you, cards? All right, what is at the heart of this matter with the children going back to school? Oh my. This is an ending. The children going back to school is trying to end something. Because this is the Ten of Swords. But it's to end something, to start something else. So you have to ask yourself, what is that something else? So, I would say this is probably the Department of Education. Because we're talking about school. And surely this is not the children. So, no, I can't see that being the children. So this has to be the Department of Education or school, as public school as we know it. Because for anybody who has children or who has been following education knows that they have been slicing 1,000 times, 100 times at the Department of Education to try to make it not work properly so that it could be privatized. So I would say at the heart of this thing, this is a way for them to get rid of the public school system as we know it. Because as we know, number 45 that's occupying the House in Washington, D.C. has said if they don't go back, that he's going to not fund them. He's not going to send funds to them. So with that being said, those funds are in the education budget. So if he doesn't send them to the public schools, then where does that money go? And I'm sure they probably can think or have already thought of several places where that money can go into the pockets of some corporation that can attempt to educate the public. So I would say this card is at the heart of the matter, and it is to kill the Department of Education as we know it and privatize it, because this is a card of endings, and it is an ending to start something else. That is what the Ten of Swords is. You're killing one thing to start something else. It is total destruction. Also, it is total destruction. Death of an old way of doing things. Wow. But it is killing it to start something else. A rebirth of something else, or a new coming of something else. But this is the card that's at the heart of the matter, which is the Ten of Swords. Alright, let us proceed. Alright, the next card is the Nine of Pentacles. That's money. Money is what got us here. And I just, before I even turn that card over, I just explained to you why. Because if you take that money from the Department of Education, that money can now go to private enterprise, private education services. So the Nine of Pentacles is about nothing but money. The Nine of Pentacles is you're satisfied. You have independence. It's fullness. It's fullness. Enjoying the fruits of your labor. You've come into money. This is guaranteed success. So this person here is almost in a state of, I've got so much, I'm just kind of bored, senseless, and I can't even see straight. The squirrel here, you see, has a cover over its face. And she's sitting here like, oh, beautiful squirrel, what do I do today? What do I spend my money on today? So this is money. We've gotten to here because of greed and money. All right. Well, let's continue on. How else did we get there? Again, I already said it when we pulled this card right here. Here is the Queen of the money, the Queen of Pentacles. She is holding her money as if it's her baby. She's got the squirrel sitting here, the gatherer. That's the squirrel represents the gatherer. For those of you who know anything about the animal spirits. The squirrel is the gatherer. And here is the family dog. The dog represents loyalty. So the loyalty is right at her feet. So loyalty is at her feet because she is cradling the money. So, as I said, this whole thing, how we got to here, trying to kill the old system, is money. Nothing but money. All right, let's see where we headed. All right, so the outcome here is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a union, a relationship, a partnership. And here we have the Three of Wands, which is waiting for your ship to come in. So the question is, tell me about the children going back to school. And what I am seeing here, this is how we got us to here. And this is where we are going now. So there is going to be a halt on the children going back to school. There is going to be a waiting to see where this thing goes. And there is going to be a deal struck. Now, whether that deal is going to be struck with the government and these corporations, or the legislators and these corporations, which is probably more likely. But a deal is going to be struck. There's going to be a partnership of some kind between the Department of Education and these corporations who are trying to kill the Department of Education. Now, that's just what I'm seeing. As I always say in my videos, I usually say it at the end, but I feel based on what I just said, I need to say it now. These videos are entertainment purposes only. They are my opinion and my interpretation of the cards. So you can do what you will with the information that is provided here. That is up to you. All right, so, wow. And we already know that, like I said, the Three of Wands is you're waiting. You've sent something out and you're waiting for your reward to come in. Because we got her sending out a falcon here, and we got two coming in here, and this one is holding something. This one's too far away, you can't really tell, but this one is coming back with something. So she's standing there, and I'll put this so you can see it. So this one's coming back with something. So she's sending them out and she's waiting for them to come in. So she's standing up here on the peak waiting for what she sent out to come back in, and that's why this card is called Waiting on Your Ship to Come In. So here they're waiting for opportunities to come in. They're looking at this thing for the long haul. How can we get this for the long haul? We don't want just some little short way of taking this over. We want to take this over long term. So this is making future plans. They're making future plans to take this thing over and to keep it where they put it. So, you know, having a vision for what they're going to do in the future. And no matter where you go, this is in the middle. The goal is to get rid of the old system. And they are using this, sending the children back to school to do it. So this is more so, I know I asked the question, tell me about the children. But this is explaining more so about why this is a big deal. Why they are making a big deal out of sending these children back to school. Because it is a way for them to get at the Department of Education. And it is a way for them to say, see, it wasn't us. You wouldn't open the schools. So we had to take the funding away and give it to some people who would send the kids to school and who would educate the children. So there will be, like I said, this is this is an opportunity for them. This is an opportunity for them to get at what is at the heart of this, which is to kill the public school system. And the Two of Cups, we know, is a union. It is a union that is wanted. It is a union that has been sought after. So this is a partnership, a coming together. That is the outcome of this. Now I'm going to do. I'm going to ask, what is the outcome going to be? What is the to clarify this outcome? What does this outcome look like? And before I do that, I'm going to look and see what card is on the bottom of the deck. Oh my! Well, I'm showing you. Here's the deck, and I just picked it up from here. So I am showing you what is on the bottom of the deck. And I asked for clarification of this Two of Cups. And we got the Justice card. And you can see this figure here has a pomegranate in her right hand and the scales in her left hand. So the scales are more on the intuitive side, which is the left side, and the pomegranate, which represents abundance, and it does represent justice, fruitful. So that pomegranate, you can see there, is in her hand, and she is standing between two columns, two pillars, with a wheel at her head, which can also represent like the wheel of fortune. Between the two columns, you have a choice, you have a path. And her scale is balanced. So even though they are going, the outcome is going to be a partnership. It's going to be a coming together. It will be balanced. So it will not favor the corporations. But I said I was going to pull a card, and that's what I'm going to do for clarification. But this Justice card clarified. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card. And it will turn out well for the children, because here's the happy home. This is the card I just pulled. So the scales will be, the justice will be served here. Justice will be served here. Because here's the Justice, and here is the Ten of Cups. This is the happy family. So there will be, justice will be served here. I'm not sure what the Department of Education will look like at the end of the day, but justice will be served, and it will be balanced. And it will be good. It will be happy and joyful for those children and for the family members who have children in school. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end the video there. I think the question has been answered. I asked the cards to tell me about the children, and it more so told me about why this issue around the children is happening. So I think this video would be more about, I'll title this video more something about why are they forcing the children to go back to school? Why are they trying to force the children to go back to school? Because that is exactly what was answered here, is why they are attempting to force the children and the teachers who are parents to send their children back to school and go into the schools with the children. Why they are doing that? Well, here it is right here. So again, guys, I appreciate you watching the videos. Thank you for watching. I hope you have found something helpful here. I hope you have a great and enlightened day, and I'll see you next time.